Do this little short video. How is everybody? Let's see if we can get this in the fridge before we start the video. Lots of fat, lots of fat. We will be with you in 1 minute. Be with you in one minute. Have to go to the washroom. Now the cat. Okay. I was going to do the video, and I don't know if I'm late. I tried to reset this video. No one is here. It's 11:43, so I'm just not going to do the video. We're going to cancel it. I'm going to come back fresh tomorrow. What I do want to show in this video is this design, these designs. You notice the Star of David is not straight. I can put it straight, but for now, this is the way it's going. What I did in these pictures over here, let me turn it down this way and show you. Now, my question is, should I be starting at 0.0? If I start at 0.0, it means I run into 6 and 6 on one end. On this end over here, I end up at 2.8 and at 2.8. That's the cycle of the moon. 66 is the freedom gateway, the woman. What I do, okay, is I'll create designs, and there are words that will equal 66. There are words that will equal 2882, which is man in the cycle. And then how the artwork has to happen. You see over here, see this line goes all the way through. It doesn't touch this over here. Now, if I was boxing it in square for square, I would be cutting every square. The only point that would be empty is here. So we have to negotiate, understand what's going on. Since it's done this way, these three, which I call the heart position, and then here's the plug between two sides, and then here's that beta gate. See this area over here, which is the same thing as this, and the same thing as this. It's 9 areas. We're using 2 areas. When we bring this area in here, over here, okay, and there's a elongate, it's hard to explain exactly, but this area over here and this area here come together. But this area, okay, here, this center is also for this area. This is the cross. Let me see if I can actually see if I can show you this. See, I can explain this only in a way of how the shapes touch each other. Sometimes I'm not going to see or be able to explain exactly what's going on mathematically, or we see this one over here, right? You know, when you play Tetris, you have to put, so this one gets, what happens is this space is empty, this space is empty, and this space is empty. The negotiated space for this is right over here. See, it's this is the baby one, and this is a little bit larger on a different scale. Now I have to work with somebody else because there's so many intricacies happening here. See, this one I'm showing you these two, right? But in this one over here, it's a holy cross. See this one over here? It's a holy cross. So how would I implicate that holy cross in this one over here? I'd have to take this and plug it up over here. Now the Holy Cross would come in the center over here, and then I would take this one and I would plug it over here. And both this spot and this spot would be completely empty as a passing zone. Now, here's one way to create this. Now, another way to create this, and I'm going to have to do many more than this, is this way over here. What I did in this one is in this one, you see I lowered it down. Sorry, in this side it was higher up to here, right? And it ended up in 888. Remember 88? Pegasus, purple. 88 and 66. So that 88 and 66 is a line this way. Or here's your 8 and here's your 6. Or here's your 8. And then we have 51 Mars 6. Now the 178 is outside the zone. It's the one spirit connect. It's all in one. Here is your 1, 7, and 8. 1, 2, 7, 8. So 1 and 7 and 8. Did I get that right? In the 1 and 2, in the 1 and 2 dot cube, we have 8 and 7. So we can go like this. If we went like this, we would create 10 and 8. If I would go like this, I would create 99. So this is where REICHE comes in. And the highest number, and 78, comes in. This would be 80 and 18. It would be 98. This would only revert to 71. 8 times 7, 56. 8 and 7, 15. 8 by 10, 80 plus 18. The difference is 17Q. It is the gateway. It just so happens to work out that way, but this number will always repeat itself. This one will fall into what 9 plus 8, 17. 9 and 8, 72. Now, how are we going to use that 72 is the question, because 72 is your beta gate, what I'm trying to show you right over here. See that? Let me see. Hold on a second. Let's see if I got all of them. Yeah, right over here. The 2, and this has to be discussed because maybe I'm not seeing it right? You take out this area over here and this area over here, and you have this in the center. So it's the same thing as, let me see which one it is. I'm just trying to understand which one it is. Yes, okay, here. So I took out this one and I took out this one, and what's left in the 2 cube, which you call the house of bait, right, is 7. But inside the 7, you see this 3 over here? Here's these 2 dots, here and here, here and here. Then there's these 3 and these 3. The 1 dot is not like any other. The 1 dot's not like any other. It's been created by bringing these 2 wings together. If I reverse these wings, let me see if I can. Oh boy. If I can reverse these wings, we'd end up with this. So in this situation, I now have this whole corner open and this whole corner open over here. Now, I don't know what it's going to create. Okay, I just started to do this, but you do notice inside of here, you can see this number 4 forming, or does it look like 1 if I'm able to draw this to the end? And what would let me draw this to the end? This over here shows me that the pathway is all through 9 with 1 separation. Then over here, right, it looks the same, doesn't it? What's going on? You see there's an empty spot here. Hold on a second. Okay. So, and over here, it's the same thing, right? There's a complete empty spot open over here. It goes 2 out, it goes 2 up, and you have the 7, 8, 7, 8, and 1, but you're in the 0 zone. So I don't know if I should be working from the 0 zone. This is just a measuring area. We should be we were working from here, or should be entering the 0 area. 1, 0, 1. It's a bend. Then you have 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3. Minus horizontal plus vertical. I don't know. Just thinking, asking you the question. So in between this one, there's a whole area space. This one over here, right? The point, the heart, is divided right over here. You see the line? Now, I'm not really sure what to say about it. I'm not really sure how to explain it. But this would more or less be the Mars pass, and this would more or less be the Earth pass between these two. The reason for that, actually, the Sun pass. Let's call this the Sun pass. The Sun, 45-degree angle. It can be a little bit less. It can be a little bit more. It can be over here. I'm just saying it's towards the 45-degree angle. It doesn't really matter which, if it's more or less. Okay. We do know it cannot be in the 4 or the 5, right? Because they are what the center is. And again, 5 and 4 is the sun. That's the sun angle right over here, 5 and 4. But it's showing me the top side, right? 8, go down 1, go down 2, go down 3. Or where we are in the 1 section, go down 1, go down 2, go down 3. So we trap 4 and 5. So that shows us right over here. And we can also see the 2 pyramids over here. And are they offset pyramids? Well, right now they do look like offset pyramids because of this dividing line. See, I'm not really sure how to explain this. I'm learning this myself right now. I'm trying to understand what's going on. I'm going to have to continuously looking over this for whatever time it takes. And I'm going to have to change these colors around. These I call the skull lines, the skeleton lines, because they cut halfway in between the letter. I don't have them. The thicker, the more dimension you give it, the more it changes its story. So, okay, I got this over here. And, right, so this is over here. So I just see the way this comes in over here. Should I have made it both a complete line? Where's my blue? I could have just called it a complete line like that, right? And then I can do the complete line like that. One's going, if it's covered, it means it's going under. Well, isn't that right? An overpass, you can't see under the overpass, right? I'll just color the whole thing up like that. So Mars is able to divide it equally. Since it comes out to 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm finishing here. So it's really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, starting at point 0. 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. Like when you're born over here, right? You're born over here. That's your birth line. And then over here, you're 1. Look, you're touching 1. And when you go through 1, you're actually going through 2. When you go through 8, you're going through 9. When you go through 9, you're actually going to 10. 0 to 1, 0 to 2, 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5. But you had to come to the 1. You had to come to the 2, come to the 3. So the minute you leave here, you're going to the next one. So this one would be the Earth one. Mars, Earth. unless I want to call it Mercury, but this would be Mercury. I have to understand more about Mercury now, because Mercury has the one area in between two. Mars has the four corners and nothing in the center. Now the question is this center here the same as this center here? See the way it's offset? You'll be putting two of these together. No, the center, okay, 8, one area, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 areas. So 4.5, so the center is right here. This dot is in the center between the two crosses right over here. The center of this is a complete between 4 and 5. Let me see what this one is. 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one is using 9. It's using 8 here, 8 here, 8 and 8. I'm just trying to understand where the center is. I go from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This would be the center. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one would be the center over here. How's that possible? This one's the center over here. So we're going to go down the center here because it's on it's not going like this. It's running on an angle to figure this one out. So the center here would be that empty space, and the center over here would be right over here, and it would be right on the line. I always call this Mars. I call this one Earth. So I'm not going to take it any further. I have to understand how the Star of David came to be. At the same time, I need to know, what do we call it when we draw it on this line out to here? See, I'm counting 9. It looks like 10. And then I have the empty space plug over here. See, like the fish come together, but you don't see it. You only see the tails, but the heads are over each other. The same thing as the picture cards. When you look at the picture cards, it must be the same reason, because they're standing on top of each other. Or, you know what I'm saying? My hands are this way or this way. This way, they'd be looking the other way, except then it gets twisted. And then you see both faces looking at you, except that's why one card's looking this way, the other card's looking that way. I put my thumbs up. I could put my pinkies up. So there's something going on when the cards switch over, what your body can do. Raphael, building the equations that bring the words closer together through using the regular alphabet A1, using what is gematria, where the letters are in an inconsistent, calculable way, but I'm going to figure it out, how they put the letters where they do in Chaldean, where Oz is number 77, O and Z. It's A, B, C, D, E, and then E, I think, changes E, F. I'm not sure which number F is. I think F is no longer, I think it's number 7 now. And then there's gematria, and then there's Hebrew gematria, simple gematria, and then there's number shifting, counting numbers to a single digit, counting words to a single digit, multiplying and dividing letters. If it's an 18, I'll call it a 6. I bring everything to its base formation, which is A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. So I'll divide everything by 3 and multiply everything by 3. And all odd numbers, okay, will be divided by 2. By 2, by 4, by 6, and by 8. Okay, usually when you divide an odd number, let's say by 8, you will always end up with an even. You should end up with an even number. There is one criteria in that. I don't remember what it was. If we divide 6 by 8, let me see. I think it has to do with the decimal. 6 divided by 8 equals 0.75. 8 divided by 6 equals 1.33. Right. So is it a multiple? Is it a multiple? Or I'm trying to figure out, because if you multiply any odd number by 2, 4, 6, or 8, 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. So if you're multiplying now, 8 times 9 is 72. 7 and 2 is 9. 8 by 7 is 56. So 7 times 8 becomes an even number. So now we're going to do 5. 8 by 5, 40 becomes an even number. 8 by 3, 24 becomes an even number. 8 by 1, 8. Now 8 by 2 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. It becomes odd. 8 by 4, 32. 1 and 3, 5. 8 by 6, 48. 4 and 8, 12. 1 and 2 is 3. So by multiplying, let's do this on paper and take a look, see what it is. 8 times 2, 4, 6, 8. 16, 32, 48, 64, equaling to 10, 12, 05, and 07, equaling to 3. Okay, now 8 times 1, 3, 5, 7, except for 9, not 9, okay, equals to 8, equals to 24, equals to 40, equals to 56, equals to 72, equals to 9, stays odd. Always. Very special number. This one equals to 11.2. This one equals to 4, 6, and 8. This one will work into the sun. This number always works into the sun, and this one over here will work into the moon. Even numbers into the moon, odd numbers become into the sun. Multiplication. So now we're going to do it by 7 and see what happens. 7 by 2, 4, 6, and 8 equals to 14, equals to 28, equals to 42, equals to 56. This is also, all these numbers are also working into the sun. It's very funny how it works. 135 also says ace sun, like a divided sun. 6 and 8 dividing the house planet. 9, 11. 9, 11. Right here, 1x1. Here it is 5, here it is 1, here it is 6, here it is 2. So when you use number 7, it works out odd and even. It's talking about the Mars queen, and what's ironic is 6 and 1 and 5 and 2 are what 5 and 2 to what 1 opposite 6 come together. Okay, so now we're going to go 1, 3, 5, 7, and of course 9 equals to 63. This is a multiple, right? And this is a 7 by multiple, equals to 49, equals to 35, equals to 21, equals to 7. 7, 3, 8, 4, 9. In this scenario, okay, you have 2 odds, 2 evens. Here you have 3 odds. Well, you're always in the odd. This one's always going to be odd. This one here comes out of Pluto. This one will create the day and the night. I'm trying to understand, because when number combinations come together, they tell a story. 3 and 5 talk about electric company. It talks about how 11 creates this beginning. Wow, I had a number today that came up that was, just 1 second. I had a number come up today that was that amazed me. I found out I found out something about number 13. Man and woman create that, and it's just crazy. Okay, I don't have it here. I'm just going to continue on what I'm doing. Okay, so we have this over here. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I'm just trying to see what's going on. Over here we have the cube. We have sequences of the cube. Everything that goes into 7 has to do with the cube and has nothing to do with 3, 6, and 9. 3, 6, and 9 are eliminated at the 7th gate. One of the reasons I say that is because no matter what you divide, right, as long as it's not 3, 6, and 9, right, 3 divided by 7 equals 2. See, there's no 3 in it. There's no 3, 6, or 9. 6 divided by 7. 9 divided by 7. 2 divided by 7. There's never any 3, 6, 9, but 7 divided by 2, right? It's not the same thing. 7 divided by 4. 2, 4, 6, 8 always is going to relate to one of these pieces, and that's a piece connecting to the moon because of its numeric value. 7 and 5. 7 and 5, 3 and 5. I'm just trying to see the male and female. Female 5, male 7 base. base on the first calculation. So the next one is, let me see, is there any math involved in any of this? 7 times 3, 21 by 8. Let me see what we can do. There's a bunch of equations in here. We're just going to use the short ones. 9 times 8 times 7 times 4 times 3. 6,048. That's some sort of equation to seconds in a day. I know it matches up. I'm going to explain it. Find that answer. 30, 24, 15, 12. Love comes out of this. 15 and 12, L and O, reverse alphabet. So 13, 23, 24, 31. So you have 60, 81. Wow. Evan's House of Venus. 6,048. 6,048 divided by 24. 252 divided by 60. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where that 6048 comes from. If there's 60 minutes, yeah, that's what we're going to do. 60 divided by 60, 48 equals 2. 60, 48 divided by 60 equals 2. Okay, 108. I know that number also. 3 by 36. It's all 60, 48 divided by 36. That's what it is. 168 hours a week. Okay. Let me do this again. 60, 48 divided by 36 or 360 degrees. 168 hours in a week. 360 times. Why are we turning around 360 times? 360 degrees. This is the division of night and day. 4 by 4 equals to 16. 4 plus 4 equals to 8. But it's gonna say phi, because the reverse of this 44 is 33. So we're talking about phi. So I have to understand pi and phi. For me, pi is this, dividing up the seventh gate. And I call dividing up that seventh gate. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to stay on tonight. I'm a little tired. I fall behind so much. There's so much to do, and I don't want anybody to say, oh, it's an excuse. No, it's not an excuse. I just find this is not a job for just one person. There's just so many things going on. It just. Oh yeah, this is how I looked at that Super Bowl game. Wizard, spell, Oz, yellow brick, witch. The right way to spell the witch also is student, warlock, clock, cube, heart. Just to know the numbers and the words, just to put the story together. Gemini, Aries. Haven't had time to get to that yet. Okay, so where is... See, now I'm starting to forget what I'm looking for. And I even lost my page. Okay, let's put this book on the side for a minute. At least I remember what I was doing. Wow, where did it go? Oh, here it is. That's what I'm looking for. Have to remember this. In order to create that cube, we have to understand how things were fabricated, at least for myself. This is it. But it's two hearts that come together. They turned it into the cube because this is on paper. This is coming apart like pieces, fragmentations. So this is how it comes together. This is where you're 3 and 3 and 1, 7 inside this gate. If these move away, maybe these can turn. This can turn this way in the gate, this way in the gate, and this way in the gate. But that's it. It must remain between the four pillars, even if they change the guard. We stand on guard for the multiple pillars. Raphael 7286. Sorry, I'm having a hard time explaining it. I don't completely understand certain of the artwork, how it moves. Um, I did not finish these two hearts. Now it becomes the butterfly. This has to be created on a bigger scale because I can't create the whole butterfly because I can't put a head in here. And now also, if I'm looking at this, right? My question is, can I also see? I got those there, right? Right. I can do this, right? But I can also, I just saw something else, and I don't like that I have something under my book, right? Is that we can take these two wings of the butterfly or the heart, whichever way you want to look at it. See that? One heart, two heart. When they come together, creates the empty space. So we do that. Then we do that. Now what we do, okay, is I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to do this. So in this scenario, ass to ass, face to face, inside here we create our first 8, and it looks like an 8. Now, one of them, okay, are they both the same? Is this Mars, this one over here, this configuration? Why? The center, we're looking at the center. The center is exactly equal. That's Mars. There's a division. Earth has a heart between both sides. Here we put the two spaces together. All I did is this design over here. I'm not really sure if I should have did that. And then what it is over here, I would lock it in with this. You know those blocks that you fit one down this way, the other one comes up? So that's the way this would lock. Now it's all questionable. What would it be used for? Right? Now, what would it be used for? How would these come into lock? Well, these two, okay, maybe they should be the same color. Maybe this locks up all of these. So I'm not really sure what's going on in here either. Yeah, it looks like just night artwork, but with my experience over the last 18 years, it always talks. So also, before just to remind you, I have to shift these. Right now I'm playing in the 0 position. I want to move it out in the 0 position. I want to create a bigger separation between this. When I talk about the skull, I talk about the vertical line in between. Instead of the full area formation of every single cell, I'm talking area space of the cell. And then the amount of space it takes, that area space, I can say, okay, put the cell in area number 3. Well, what size is the cell? Well, the cell is this big. Well, that's going to take up 4 spaces. And that's it. Thank you for watching Raphael 7286 and a constellation of Pegasus. Peace. The word has been written. The games are out there to decipher everything that exists in a story. Just a story.